Yeah. Didn't know I was on. Okay then. Good morning, Miss Carol. How are you, my friend? Feel any different today? I accidentally hit the button. I didn't know I was on for a minute. Might be one of those days. Ooh, I gotta check and see. Haha, that's wonderful. Okay. All right, hang on to your hats, folks. I gotta check the internet, make sure we're firing on all cylinders. Looks pretty good. 25 megabytes up. I know that doesn't mean much to most of you, or maybe any of you, but it means a lot to me. It means that I'm getting the information quicker. It's 5 times faster than the old system. Ooh, a little weak on the... I may get a little freezing today, but it should be okay. You know what? I'm going to adjust something here really quick. Hang on. Hope this works. Okay. Wish us luck. Hello, Candy Jane. How are you? Yeah, I'll explain that when I start. Oh, Carol, I appreciate you. Yes, luck is always in order. Absolutely. Glad to hear that, Candy. I never really know what to do, especially when it works. Now, I used to go on 15 minutes early, and that was completely too long because I have nothing to do for 15 minutes. And I often need every single second of 5 minutes, but lately, knock on wood, I haven't had many problems. So sometimes, often I'm waiting till rushing to the very last minute to barely be able to get this thing together. But maybe it's practicing. I can't tell you that until I start the show, Candy. But I'll let you know there's a thank you for you in there. I will give you that little peek. Morning, Zig. How are you? You'll know in a minute and 21 seconds, Miss Candy and Jane Proctor. Got anything you want to talk about, Candy? Wow, so you know the lag between you speaking and me seeing it is 15 seconds today. That's a lot. It's normally 5 or 6. So if I don't respond to your question, it's because it hasn't shown up yet. Somebody else is in, doesn't tell me who. Ah, Sharon. Wonderful. All right, here we go. Well, hello, rock stars. How are you? I'm going to actually go back to that screen for a second. I've put up with that. Hello, everybody. David or Day here. Today we're going to talk about the power of just doing something. I'm going to have to give some condolences. There have been a lot of grief in my world. I've got a huge congratulations to make. I'm going to talk about Belinda's reaction to my girlfriends, and I think I will show you a pretty picture. In fact, I've got a new idea for some content. I want to discuss it with you all. So let's get started. Usually start with the weather. Yeah, it's kind of a Boise February. It's 02/02/2021. I love the way the numbers have played out over the last month or two. It's interesting. The 2021 is fascinating to me. Maybe I needed to study more numerology. I don't know what the delay is, Zig. It's probably the circumstances of the less than perfect internet. I was bragging about it, and of course that meant it's a problem. So probably not much I can do about it. All right. Well, I want to talk a little bit about the old Zippy cat over here. Zip's kind of been an ornery one lately. I put this photograph because I didn't like the way that screen looked. This is a picture of the horses. Maybe I'll turn the camera or take a picture of the studio one of these days here. So glad to hear there's no delay for some of you. You know, I worry about the show, and then I watch the Channel 7 News with KTVB. They've got all these huge money, and they got fancy cameras. I've been to their studio. My son used to work there. And it's seldom that even on their broadcast that they don't have some sort of problem with the Zoom, the videos from, especially with the weather people who don't seem to come into the studio anymore. So I'm just going to quit worrying about it. I'll do the best I can. I'll give you the most professional show I can. And yeah, Zig, you always have been about a half a second off. I think it's on your end, not on ours. So hopefully it will get better. I love you folks. So let's get right into it. My friend Stacy Rockline posted something very similar to this, and I wanted to talk about. We talked a lot about resilience on Friday's show, and partially because of what's going on in the world and some other things, I wanted to talk about this. And I just love this saying, may your coffee be stronger than your excuses. Yes, that is my cup of coffee. I did that great thing, I think most of you have done it, where you go and you set something on the edge of a table, and you set it not quite on the edge of the table, where it's a little more than half, and it fell and it crashed. The young ladies at the coffee shop gave me a pretty hard time about not being able to even put a cup of coffee onto a table. And of course, it was my first cup of the day, so it was a disaster. Absolutely. I'm going to ask you all a question. Do any of you TikTok? My daughter has started a TikTok channel with her amazing pit bull puppy named Blue, and I joined TikTok. I'm wondering if it makes any sense at all to post content there. So I asked the question. 9 of you out there, I'm wondering if any of you watch TikTok. If you do, you know, they're short videos. They often have some interesting Gee, there's a shock. So I'm just wondering if TikTok makes any sense at all. I'm guessing it's probably for people under 40, and I don't have a lot of people in my world that aren't related to me who are under 40. So let me know about TikTok. So let's get going here, folks. Unfortunately, I'll bring up this pretty picture. Unfortunately, a whole bunch of my friends and people that watch this show have had a lot of loss lately. So I want to offer my condolences. I'm not going to go deep into the circumstances, but I want to offer my condolences to Mark and to Sharon and to Tina and to my friend Sandy Brewer. One of the hardest things about getting older is you seem to lose people, and boy, it is so hard. So I want to bring up some more about resilience today. And I also get to end on some, or I also get to go on some happier news. So let's talk about resilience. We're all going to have trouble. We're all going to have losses. Things are going to happen in our world. So what can you do to get by them? My friend Tina was particularly distraught, and I didn't know what to say. Her family, I don't want to go into the details, but they had a huge loss, a very difficult loss to deal with. And she asked me, and I said, well, you know, really it's often just a matter of understanding your grief and then doing something. Even if it's as simple as getting out and taking a walk with the dog. Make sure you hug your family tight, you hold them, and you give them all of the help that you possibly can. my friend Ziggy Z there says that Robert says that he watches sea shanties on TikTok. So let's go back up here a little bit. Again, I want to express my condolences to those folks. So let's do something right here. So one of our regulars, my friend Carol, I'm lucky because I have some really good friends in my world, and sometimes those friends find their person. So I want you all to congratulate Carol. She married my friend Jeff Hansen yesterday. Yes, I asked her permission if that's all right, so a round of applause. Let's see, here we go. So Carol, congratulations. I so am happy. This is one of those things that, you know, that when it happens, you watch it happening and you watch it come together. Especially Jeff is a man of a certain age. And as we get older, it's much harder for us to find people who will love us and take care of us. And it's so wonderful that Carol has found her person. And I am lucky to know them both. So everybody, please give Carol a round of congratulations. And thank you so much for all of your support over the months. Carol, you are one of my most consistent followers, and I greatly appreciate you for doing that. All right, let's get to the pretty picture part. Kind of heavy. So this photograph, I posted it in a couple places, but I don't think I posted it directly to Facebook, is in the Bruneau Canyon. Actually, it's above the Bruneau Canyon on the Bruneau River. And I went there this winter, and it was just bitterly cold. But there are, as there are in a lot of the Owyhee Canyon lands, there was a hot springs. And this hot springs came out of just right out of the mountain, almost like 1,000 springs, like a Lost Springs. It just bubbled up, and then it flowed down into the Bruneau River. And as it flowed down, it formed all these really cool mosses and lichens, and they covered the rocks, and there's green, slimy-like stuff. But of course, the water's still running through it. And in the background, you have that placid blue of the river and just a hint of blue sky. I really enjoy this photograph. It's certainly a contender for Idaho Waterways. I've got an interesting problem. I may have too many good photographs to put together in this book. That will be a problem to be had. I will probably post some this one or that ones on Facebook and maybe here on our Facebook Live. So thank you, folks, for enjoying my photographs and giving me the possibility. Oh, I forgot to tell you, we're going to talk about my wife's reaction to my girlfriends. So Friday, I think it was last Tuesday, I think it was Friday, I discussed that I have been getting some solicitations from some very interesting young women. Now, as I've discussed, I am so charming, so handsome, I've got such great photography. I can certainly understand why this. Now, I can't honestly tell you why in the world this young woman, who we have zero mutual friends, as far as I can tell from her profile, she doesn't do anything. All she does is be pretty. There's only 2 photographs on her profile. Can't remember her name, but she sent me a friend request. And I thought I would be funny and I would say, hey, Belinda, look at these girls, including Sophia from last week. I said, look at all these girls who want to be my friend. Well, my dear wife did not find it as funny as I did. And to quote her, she said, you're trying to make me jealous. It didn't work. Really, thanks a lot, my love. I don't see why this young woman wouldn't want to be my friend. I thought maybe you would like a follow-up. I actually think that it's hilarious. I do think it's funny. I discussed this a little bit with Carol, and she told me that it was Carol, maybe it was Baby. I think it was Carol. That she didn't want to see the racy pictures of Sophia for last week, so I left that off. And I think she's probably right. You guys had so much fun. I thought maybe I could extend it a little bit. B seems to think they're guys. I think that. All right, I'm going to pop a couple of these up here. So. What do you think? Nigerian men, which is very similar to what B thinks. Robert thinks that, and Ziggy Z seems to think that maybe that he saw her strip in Vegas. That must have been an interesting. Can you imagine being in Vegas with Zig? Oh, that'd be a time. I have been to Jackpot with Ziggy. That was interesting. We were learning the Joe Brown free odd system, the Joe Brown system of craps. All right, guys. So let's just go over a little bit about resilience. Please, if you have any trouble, if there's anything I can do, one of the best things you can do to get over all of the trouble is to get out and do something. I took a walk with my friend Michael Marvos yesterday. It was wonderful. I'm still not quite right, so we didn't really walk. We wandered around the Anne Frank Memorial, and then we went over next to the bridge and we sat down and talked. He's an amazingly fascinating man. He's really interesting, and it was just great. I turned my phone all the way off, and I also didn't take my camera out, even though it was beautiful. So get a chance. If you need to rely on your friends, they're a very good way to deal with the grief and the resilience. So interesting. Apparently, I'm having some. I told you earlier on that maybe I was not quite as zippy. My internet connection's not as good as usual. It's my fault. I was thinking that we've gone for, like a month without sound problems, and here they are back. So it could be just my raspy voice. So as usual, I cannot tell you how happy I am to have you with me. So if you need anything, let me know. I'm going to close on a little bit of good news. I actually sold something. Not only did they sell it, they put it up on the wall. So the video I showed you on Friday, this is how the print turned out. Turned out pretty good, and this is how it looks after the coating is on and I polish it all up. And look at how cool it is on the wall of those folks' home. My friend, or my wife's coworker, Laura, bought that print. Hey, you need any prints? I will definitely give you a fantastic discount, and just let me know. So as always, folks, I will be back on Friday. I do not have a clue what I'm going to talk about. If there's something you'd like me to discuss, an image that you've seen that you would like a little bit more information on, or maybe a topic that you would be interested in having me delve into, the word delve, I think it is delve, dive into, take a look at, I'd certainly like to do that. As we have talked about often on this show, coming up with something to talk about every 3 or 4 days is not the easiest thing for me to do. So I adore you all. Congratulations to Carol and Jeff. I'm going to close on that note. Thank you all. David Arday. I've got to get to the gallery. I'm working in 16 minutes at the Art Source Gallery. If you're bored, come down and see me. We have a really cool art for Valentine's for AIDS display. So I'm out. Adore you all. See you Friday.